a lot to go. Roman returning though was a big moment. It was great. He looks over at Cody, giving Cody the right to pin Solo, and that was a cool moment too, because I think that's foreshadowing obviously WrestleMania 41 in Vegas, which I really want to go to.
Welcome to the lower mid-card, where legends rise. Grind and Kyle Driver, the ring's wise guys. Talking smack, breaking backs, no holds barred. On the lower mid-card, the action's avant-garde.
What's going on, everyone? This is the Lower Mid-Card Podcast. I'm Kyle Driver.
And I'm Grind. And our summer has been slammed.
My summer got slammed hard.
It did. And it was a sneak preview of what next year and the future is going to withhold. It's kind of crazy to think that next year we're going to have 2 nights of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
This really felt like we were getting a little bait and switch kind of a thing. Lots of titles, all singles titles on the line. I mean, it was almost like Christmas in July. That's what it felt like, but it was Christmas in August. It was not Christmas in July. I loved it. I mean, if I had to, out of the box, give you a best out of 5 stars, I would already tell you. I tell you first off, this is one of my favorite SummerSlams in the last decade, and then I'd probably have to give it. You know what? I'll wait till the end. I'm a little too excited because
I can tell.
You're
all antsy in your pantsy over there.
I am, dude. Because, we now have, we go through this weird period of the fall where we get these PLEs that don't really matter. And then we get the road to WrestleMania, which is like, we just came off of all of that. And this time last year, we were throwing conspiracies at the wall.
Yeah.
And this year, it doesn't feel so much like that, but everything feels elevated. Obviously, TKO has done an amazing job of putting wrestling on the map bigger than it's ever been. You get the Netflix deal that's going into place. So you have a lot of changing of the guard, getting ready to close out. I mean, we are completely closing out the PG era and moving into something much darker, but much more mainstream. Right. So, SummerSlam being the last of its kind, where it's a 1-night PLE moving into a 2-night PLE. This was really, really like, it was like the teaser, the carrot. It was dangling in front of us, almost like, hey, dude, we're getting 2 Christmases next year. Almost like Christmas in July, Christmas in August kind of a thing. Yeah. So, and then it was in Cleveland, out of all places, man, which really, we had talked about this. Mm-hmm. Would the United States bounce back in a fan favorite way where, the American crowd would pop like some of these other countries? What was your take on that?
I don't know, man.
Okay. Well, that was definitely not the question to start with.
Yeah,
it was an American crowd, in my opinion.
Yeah, like they always have their moments. Like they'll pop for the big moments, but it's just like
it was an American crowd. It was an American crowd. They
get bored. We're spoiled. We are spoiled brats when it comes to wrestling, because we can watch wrestling. You don't have to wait too long for it to come around your area.
No.
Right. And then it's just like, these are once in a lifetime opportunities for these people for the most part. And it's just like, of course they're going to want to show up and show out, because then that means that they may come back.
But it's SummerSlam. And to think that SummerSlam, we hadn't had a PLE since WrestleMania in the States. You would think that Cleveland would have rocked, kind of a thing.
Really, it's Ohio though, so I mean, we really can't expect too much.
They kind of sucked
from them. And just a heads up, I mean, Detroit did fucking bring the thunder.
They did
last year's SummerSlam.
They did.
So, and just a little.
They did, but here's the thing: last year compared to this year is 100% different. Like the show, the way that it was lined up was set to show you kind of a teaser for next year. Whereas in previous years, SummerSlam has always been about returns and big moments, but I don't think I've ever seen a card that was just stacked. Every single match was a title. Every single match. And it was like 90% of it was long-term storytelling from dating back to prior to WrestleMania. So, I mean, you know, yes, you're right. Detroit handled business. They stood on business. They handled business and whatnot. And that's what I'm kind of getting at. Did Cleveland do what was needed to show, like, the people that run the business that, hey, we're here, you know, keep these big PLEs in the United States? Or does it make sense to start moving them outward because the fandom is outrageous in other countries, you know? And we are so spoiled that I'm starting to feel more and more like going to a PLE in my area is very uncommon. Very uncommon. I mean, we had WrestleMania back in 2015, I think, in San Francisco. But the idea of getting another PLE, I don't think we've had one since Hell in a Cell, Seth Rollins, The Fiend in Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? That was like 2018. So to not have a PLE in that long, and then to go, oh my God, every 5 PLEs, we only get one in the United States.
Right.
As somebody who's like a dedicated fan who wants to go to these PLEs, it's like, well, I guess I'm flying or to a different part of the country just to go to this event, you know? Okay, well, I mean, since we're already talking about SummerSlam, I think it makes sense to recap SummerSlam. We'll start from where I believe it began. I don't remember the lineup by any means, but typically the way it's been going is they've been starting with the championship match and finishing. Oh, wait, it was all championship matches. That's right. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. I said Punk would win. You said Drew would win. As always, man, I bow down, dude. I bow down. It was ugly, and it's one of those things where I'm just like, dude, you know. I thought the most interesting thing out of it was Seth Rollins coming out with the camera. I'm like, nobody wants to see that view, the camera on his glasses.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't care about this referee view that you got going on. But obviously we can tell, you know, I thought this would be the conclusion of this because this has been going on since Rumble, I believe Rumble. And so I thought we were going to get some sort of kind of conclusion here. And this story just continues, man. I mean, it's all about, you know, CM Punk's family now. And this bracelet, this stupid $2 bracelet is literally causing CM Punk to lose his mind. And Drew is having one hell of a year, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Drew, you could say whatever you want. The man has won the heavyweight title. He has won Money in the Bank, and he has beat CM Punk at all of these big PLEs. He won at WrestleMania. Let's not forget that, dude. Like, it may have been 10 seconds, but it was fucking great. It was a great 10 seconds. It was intriguing the entire time. Drew he is not done wrong by any means. And dude, I'm going to credit it all to CM Punk. I really am. Yeah. I think without CM Punk, you don't have Drew in any of these positions. You think Drew is there at Mania for the world title without CM Punk getting hurt?
Yeah.
I mean, it's something to think about because I think the initial concept was Seth versus CM Punk at Mania. So you have all these gigantic moments, and Drew is really, really shining, man. And you know, since then, it's like the story continues. Any comments? Any fun thoughts?
I think it's been great. I've been just strapped in for the ride, enjoying it. I think like everyone's playing their role perfectly. Like Drew is killing it. You love to see it because the man deserves his flower. You know, he's busted his ass to get to where he's at, and so I'm just glad that he's getting his, you know, whatever, this huge storyline.
Yeah, kudos, man. I love the fact that he is one of the few wrestlers that actually looks like a wrestler doll. You know.
Yeah.
There's something about my childhood that when I see these guys, I want them to look like a wrestler. And when I think of like this guy could stand toe to toe with any wrestler in the late 80s, early 90s, with the physique and the look.
Yeah.
He has that. He's got the full package. He would have been able to cut it back then, and he's good on the mic. So it's like to see him doing the thing now to kind of carry the torch of that physique. I mean, listen, a lot of these wrestlers they don't look like that. So
not very many look like him.
and back in the day though, dude, I mean, we're talking steroid eras.
Yeah, it's the steroid era, man.
It was the action
golden
figure.
age, if you will.
Yes, the action figure era, in my opinion. Okay. Well, yeah, you know what? You called it. You're right. But you know what we both called? We called Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker.
Yeah, we called it a squash.
Yeah. And you know what it was? A squash.
100%,
dude. I don't know what they're gonna do with Braun moving forward. I know that they have a tournament coming up, and I think that's pretty much as far as they know at the moment, because they want to create this character that, like I said, this Goldberg, from what I've heard, and it's kind of weird, giving Sammy that win at first, but I think to just kind of make Sammy feel good, maybe that was like what they needed to do. But moving forward, Braun is just gonna be. I mean, dude, every time he gets on the mic as well, it's like, dude, I hear Scott the entire time. Like, dude, if this guy matures correctly and whatnot, you got Big Papa Pump Jr. It's gonna be crazy.
More like Big Papa Chump.
Yeah, dude. The potential is endless though for this guy.
He's something.
It's
like
it's weird.
His in-ring ability is.
It is.
Like the things that he can do is just like the speed he has on those ropes.
It's
like,
incredible. Dude.
How does that not hurt to take a speed?
Oh, it has to. It has to knock the wind out of you.
And it's just like I feel bad for anyone that's got to like actually work with him because of how fast he moves off those ropes.
I bet at first he wasn't very fun to work with. Like I'm sure he was stiff, and I believe he was coming off like he almost like a pro football scholarship, or like he almost went to like pro football, and so I bet he transitioned probably really easily, but I bet initially he there was a few moments where people wanted to throw receipts at him because of how stiff he may have been. Who knows though? Yeah. I mean, his entire his family, they were all wrestlers, so it's been in his blood forever. So who knows how long he's actually been working. All I know is, like you said, it has to hurt. There's no way that's comfortable, and I think. I look at Roman Reigns as like a prime example of somebody who really matured into the role that he was born to be in. This is definitely the same kind of thing where the Steiners, I mean, they have such an impact on 90s pro wrestling, even late 80s. I mean, imagine a marinated Braun Breaker 5 years from now, dude. I mean, it's crazy because I talk about Roman, but you look at Roman, you look at Seth, you even look at John Moxley. I mean, I was looking at John Moxley the other night, and I'm like, this guy looks nothing like he did in the WWE. He's a completely different guy, but he's marinated. He's got all that experience. He's got that massive resume, and he's now him. He's the guy he was meant to kind of be. And so when you see Braun, it's like, he's not there yet. He's not there yet, but you can see that the potential is just endless. He's going to be
you can tell he's a little green.
Oh yeah.
Like with some of his mic skills, it's just like it's there. It's still entertaining.
Oh, it's great. It's just going to be
smash mouth.
He's just, it's weird because we're going through a time right now where you had, the John Cena, and you had the Roman Reigns being the face, and now you got the Cody Rhodes, but then you got these guys like Braun, who's like moving up the ladder, and you're going, whoa, this is like the next 10 years. Like, he's not going to even probably peak for the next 5. So it's kind of incredible to see the talent just emerge, especially from NXT. I mean, he had such a crazy run in NXT that, the fact that was less than a year ago they signed him to SmackDown, and boom, here he is, Intercontinental Champion. That says a lot about the company believing in this guy. So
Yep.
we had Logan Paul, the champion, the U.S. champion, versus LA Knight, for the championship, for the United States Championship. And there was a little, I mean, it was fair, but then you kind of had some MGK, Machine Gun Kelly in cahoots coming out because they're from Cleveland. Don't they? Isn't there a song about like I'm Cleveland till I die or something like that? I don't know. I think it's a Machine Gun Kelly song, but it was just to me, I was like, oh great, here we go. And Logan plays great as heel. He's such a good heel. But I'm gonna you know what? I'm gonna take my opinion. I'm gonna just stop there and let you speak on this.
I got yelled at for being too loud during this one. So it's just so great. Like I knew the match was gonna be how it went. Like it was gonna be. There's always gonna be fuckery when it comes with Logan Paul because he's got his cronies, and then he gets the assists from some outside of wrestling people, and he just my boy got the dub, and so that was so great to see. He deserves it. I was super excited. I audibly went, yeah, baby. And it felt good, and he's doing great, and I love him.
I think something that was really, really cool was, Logan has those amazing spots. He had that off the top ropes moonsault, I believe is what it was. And sure enough, it breaks social media because it's a big spot. That's his thing. Every match he's got to kind of top himself, which is great because for somebody who is a part-timer and somebody who for a long time didn't get the credit, I think you can give Logan the credit saying he is a pro wrestler. He's put the time in, he shows up and he shows out. And so
absolutely,
even as a heel, man, it really, really works. I'm all for it. Why not be the bad guy? If that's what the people want, give it to him, right? So LA Knight, perfect opponent, perfect timing. I enjoyed the timing. SummerSlam a year later, I think it pays dividends. It's rewarding. It's special to think that you were there a year ago pushing for this, and here you are a year later, and it's finally coming to fruition.
Hell yeah.
The best part to me was after the match, they cut to because it was a year ago. I remember texting you going, dude, you got to see this this Slim Jim commercial that they had filmed. And because he had just signed a deal at last SummerSlam with Slim Jim. And it was the same commercial. It's them breaking through the wall, him saying, yeah, and then you got Macho Man in the commercial and whatnot. And I was just reminiscing of like a year ago being like, dude, that moment, because it was such a cool commercial and still is such a cool commercial.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll was there and they had a segment that followed. Enough talking about Machine Gun Kelly. It was just my 2 cents. Thank you for listening. I hope you agree.
Yeah, no, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's fucking strange. Anyway, Jelly Roll, he was there. He performed, I believe, Amazing Grace or the national anthem or something like that. Played a few of his songs, and then he was a part of there was A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory, and the Aussie had their little show that they do. They had Awesome Truth on, if I remember correctly, and somehow Jelly Roll gets called out, and the next thing you know, Jelly Roll's in the ring behind A-Town Down Under with a steel chair, and he hits him hard, man. Hits him both with the steel chair really, really hard. But the most impressive thing was he then went for a choke slam, and he lifted one of those guys up so high in the air. I was thoroughly impressed. I mean, I've watched Kane and The Undertaker do choke slams for years, to see, like, as they've gotten older, it's gotten a little harder for them. Sometimes the choke slams are only a few feet off the ground. To see what Jelly Roll at like 400 plus pounds was able to do,
He's
right?
a big boy.
Oh my God.
He
I
is
mean,
a massive boy.
I think who I can't remember who it was. I can't remember. I think it was Austin Theory. I want to say I wasn't it was it a double choke slam? I think it was a single choke slam.
Yeah.
Either way, the person got like 6 feet off the ground. You know, it was absolutely incredible. And man, I'd like to see more Jelly Roll in the ring. It reminded me of Viscera. That's that's what
I was thinking that. I was just thinking that.
Dude, that's what it reminded me of. Viscera was awesome. So I wouldn't mind seeing Jelly Roll in a match, and I think he could do it. I mean, this man, I know he's done like a 5K recently. So if he's able to, I mean, even if he walked it, right? The fact that he was able to do that at that size,
right?
My God, dude, you know, listen, I'm overweight and my back hurts just because I'm overweight. I can't even imagine being that size, you know, like, holy crap. But I'm also, you know, I'm wondering what this man can do. I want to see him go all out, dude. I want to see a match. You want to talk about the tsunami that Austin, what's his name? Bronson Reed does.
Bronson Reed, yeah.
Mr. Nipple Slip. Dude, you want to talk about a tsunami? Dude, Bronson Reed versus Jelly Roll has to happen.
Oh, God.
That would be amazing. It would be so good. Dude.
I mean, I'd watch it and I wouldn't complain.
No, it would be meat slapping meat, dude. It would be great. Oh
meat
my!
On meat.
It would be so gangster, though.
So much meat, dude.
Yeah, dude. Little Twig Machine Gun Kelly would work his way into the match and just get squashed. Yeah. This Cody Rhodes reign. You know, we had Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa in a was it tribal or no, it was a bloodline rules match. And this was actually your main event. This was the main event. But going into this, we had, I want to say we had kind of speculated that Roman was going to return. Mm-hmm. And we both had very different opinions on this. But before we get into the match, I just want to say this Cody Rhodes reign has not been about Cody Rhodes.
No.
And it's showing more and more every single time. I feel like there's been so much more interest in the heavyweight championship than the universal championship because this reign has not been intriguing. It's not like and I don't know
it's very cookie cutter.
It is, and it's almost like playing it safe kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And it's almost like there's just, and this is what I was kind of saying, you know, at WrestleMania, prior to WrestleMania, it's like, what do you do? Where do you go? What's the story outside of Roman? You know, and at this rate, potentially Cody's legacy, if he doesn't have another reign, which would be crazy. I could totally see him with the heavyweight title or something down the line. Right. But if you had to say Cody's career, this was his reign, you would say it was all supported by somebody else. It was all supported by a completely different character, the bloodline. I mean, that's what it's been. And so you had Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for a bloodline rules match. Solo's trying to become the tribal chief. He's got his own Dune squad, you know, and I was like, dude, you know, you want to make a big impact, strip Cody, or not strip him, but have Cody lose, have Solo win. You know, you called it. I mean, this is one of those matches where it's like it is what, like, it's simple. It was very simple math, and I looked, I didn't just double triple check. I just kept going back to it, thinking like, come on, man, give me something out of the box, which I like to do. And so you kept that straight line, and Cody Rhodes is your winner with a little help. You know, from he had help from KO. He had help from Randy Orton, and that didn't go very well. The bloodline kind of stomped a mud hole in those guys. And then you had Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns returns to allow Cody to pin 1, 2, 3 Solo Sikoa and retain. There's a lot to go. Roman returning though was a big moment. It was great. You know, he looks over at Cody, giving Cody the right to you know, pin Solo, and that was a cool moment too, because I think that's foreshadowing. Obviously, WrestleMania 41 in Vegas, which I really want to go to. I really want to go to. It's Vegas, man. It's close.
Vegas, baby.
Oh, it'd be crazy. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Cody too, because I'm
not feeling it.
I don't know.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah. That's what everybody wanted.
Yeah.
Them Cody crybabies, dude.
Yeah, but you want to know what wasn't boring?
What?
The next match.
Oh my God. Are you talking about one of the greatest female dramas of all time?
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, that one.
The Liv Morgan going in as champion versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan retaining as champion.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Mr. Miss I'm gonna finish my revenge tour. I'm gonna steal your man. My God.
That was so great.
It was everybody had been talking about it. We've been talking about it for months.
Yes.
And we're like, nah, it can't happen. And we both called it. We both called it. Like, there's no way, dude. And sure enough, Dirty Dom, man, what a savage.
I love it.
What a savage.
Dude, I love everything that's happening for him.
I do.
I really do.
It's so good. And you know what?
It's great. It's great TV.
It's great TV, but it's also like this guy is. I mean, he just got. I watched the podcast he did with Logan Paul on Impulsive, and he was talking about how his wife is like super cool with it, like totally understanding and whatnot. And he's like, when I go home, I'm just Dominic Mysterio, but he's like, she totally gets it. Versus, it was a little weird when you had Rhea, knowing Rhea was also in a relationship and, as well. Rhea, it seemed like she wouldn't go the extra mile, where Liv is like leaning into it.
She's all about it. Well, Liv is single.
Yeah, that's what
Liv is single.
At.
Like she's like, hey, I got.
You want me to play the role? Sure, no problem.
And then I'm like, prop to Dom's like wife.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, it's crazy.
Like that is. I don't know if I could get that to fly. I think there would be a little bit of jealousy.
It's a little different if you're like filming a movie or something, right? And you're like, okay, I'm on the set.
This is like every week,
and it's every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his. He literally
probably
has.
Not. They probably do house shows and shit.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? I mean, at what point do you go, let's just keep it between us? At some point, you just gotta. It really.
Hey, listen, I would not hate on him.
No,
I would not hate on him.
I mean, it's totally understanding, especially if you're doing house shows and you're working 5 days out of the week with this person. I mean, what company goes, all right, dude, so HR, that's not a thing. You're both going to agree to this and you're going to like it.
Yeah, basically. Goddamn.
And it's like, my God, what a weird little sick world we live in, dude.
Yeah, man. But hey,
it's awesome. It's hilarious and great.
It's a great story. I love it.
The biggest twist out of all of it is the aftermath, which we will talk about. We'll talk about definitely here soon. But it really had a ripple effect, and it's so great, dude.
It set the tone for what was to happen.
I think it's the most fun out of this entire card.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, let's go.
You know what's not fun? It's not fun.
The next match.
I didn't even watch this match. I literally went to the bathroom, and when I came back, Nia Jax was sitting on top of Bayley. Literally sitting on top of her.
All right. I'm not gonna lie, that match was actually really fucking good. It really was. I watched it, and like Nia Jax, I shit on her.
Good.
Like I fucking
you should.
I will, but she actually had a really good match. She did really good. The fact that I got to watch Bayley power bomb Nia Jax, like walked her out from the turnbuckle several steps, and that was fucking great. The match was awesome. It was a great match.
I'm glad. I'm glad there was some enjoyment out of it. The outcome sucks.
No, of course.
But it's setting up something much bigger. And we had a theory that Miss Tiffy Time was going to cash in. Well, we now know inevitably that is the plan. She will cash in. At what point, when, Don't know. However, she will definitely be cashing in on Nia Jax, and it's setting up that way. And I mean, listen, Nia needs her to do 15 minutes of fame. Give it to her. I mean, I saw her at 2 house shows. She's putting time in. I'm just not a fan. It's not a beauty thing so much as it is a, one, you're reckless, and 2, you're not good on the mic. You're not. If she didn't have the size, let me put it this way: if she did not have the size, and she was just the same size as everybody else, she doesn't stand out. The personality is not there. She is getting away with murder because of her size. That is purely it, and she's learned how to use it to her advantage, which is great. But somebody like Andre the Giant, if you would have made him normal size, and he would have been a normal sized guy, he would have been a pro wrestler because he had a personality. He was able to play. I mean, dude, the guy literally had one fucking line in Princess Bride. Anybody want a peanut? And it was fucking one of the greatest moments of all time. Nia Jax can't do that same line and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Also, you want to talk about fro to fro. Fro to fro, Andre the Giant wins. Just putting it out there.
Well, yeah. But let's just get into the nuts and bolts of it. So I mean, obviously Nia Jax wins. Cool. Nothing exciting happens.
Yeah, that's that. Meh. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on.
Damian Priest versus Gunther. It will conclude our lineup match lineup for the SummerSlam card. It was an interesting one. I'll tell you that much. Gunther knows, I mean, that is a real world champion right there. It's going to be very interesting to see where this goes. Gunther wins. Damian Priest had a nice run. He did well. It was fun to watch. It was actually way more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. I was a little worried for Damian that Gunther was going to kind of show him up or carry the match, but it was good both ways. Gunther is in incredible shape right now too. Oh yeah, he is the best he's ever looked, and there is something about his wrestling that it reminds me of it just reminds me of really old school, 80s, 70s, just real authentic wrestling, so
yeah, he's great. He's really good, and we are very blessed that we get to watch him work on a regular basis, so the match was great. I mean, and I'm not mad at the outcome. But there was, as you alluded to in 2 matches ago, about how it would spill over, and it spilled over into this match, right?
Definitely did.
So we had a little bit of a backstabbery, if you will. With
a big one actually, which was
huge.
Yeah,
huge, and it cost the title.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, Finn Balor interfered with the match. Put Gunther's foot on the rope to break the count, and he turned to go after Finn, and that's where Gunther did his thing and got the title.
Yeah.
So that's where it all blew up.
It's really interesting too, because it's really interesting because as we've talked about, and we're going to address here shortly, that double cross is not the first time we had seen it that night. It was like, whoa, no way is this happening, kind of a thing. I thought Finn for sure was going to play a part in the Rhea and Liv match. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later, because I still think Finn plays a very interesting role in all of this. But it was also a nice out for Damian, because it doesn't really ruin his reputation as champion. So it was kind of a win-win for everyone, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I will touch on this with Gunther, because I find it very interesting. Imperium has been short a Giovanni Vinci since he kind of got backstabbed by I forget the other guy's name, the blonde Ken doll.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Yes, Ludwig. With that being said, I saw a preview on SmackDown the other night, and it was a dude pulling up in like a Bugatti, or was it a Lamborghini? Is that what it was?
Lamborghini,
yeah. and it was Giovanni Vinci, and he had his own vignette, like
I know.
like he was coming to SmackDown, like he was this big thing. He spoke more in that vignette than he had
Than he
ever
has.
spoken in Imperium, and I was like, what? Like what? Like
Right.
I feel like this is one of those moments where the WWE really must believe in him and must believe like this is a solid guy. We really are going to push him.
I don't think it is.
What in the world, man? I was like, I saw that and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, does anybody really know who you are or care?
Bud.
You know, so
I was like, all right, I guess.
yeah, it was-
like there was nothing to it. I'm just like,
No.
oh, all right. I
no,
guess
it was like, I'm
Sure.
coming. I'm coming for you.
I'm gonna come. Anyway, like fuck.
That's exactly what it
Anyway,
was.
yeah. So
Fun stuff with
fun stuff.
the Imperium guys, I guess. Yeah, so I guess Imperium now is just Gunther and Ludwig. Very, very interesting. Not very interested. Okay, but you know what? You know who is interested? Berlin.
Yeah.
Berlin is interested because literally in a matter of days, like 48 hours from the time we filmed this,
Yeah.
Berlin is about to have a bash, dude. And
We're bashing it up in Berlin.
we're not. We weren't invited.
I wish.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, I would love an invite.
Yeah. I mean, my God, dude. That would be amazing. I can only imagine just do they wear the cool the cool beer drinking overalls, the lederhosens? Okay.
Probably.
Anyway, moving on.
I mean, like, yeah, probably.
I don't know. It just sounded like
Yeah.
they celebrate Oktoberfest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their whole thing. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they were. I think they in October, which I mean we're in September, so I don't know if they do Oktoberfest in September. But point is they wear these things called lederhosens. They're like overalls, but it's a thing, and somehow beer's tied to it. It just looks like fun. I want a pair, and I really want to go to.
I'll send you a pair.
There you go. Dude, I would totally wear them too. That'd be sick. Okay, let's get focused. Let's focus on
Alright.
the bash in Berlin that we weren't invited to.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna get the unholy union, dude. Some Scottish fire
Yeah.
and Dawn. We're getting the Dawn and the Fire to start the card is what it looks like, at least, versus
So I was watching SmackDown.
mhm.
My wife was in the room. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire were in a match on SmackDown, and my wife goes, "She's got such an ass. Like that's all I see." And I was like, "She's like that one right there." I go, "Oh yeah, Isla Dawn." I was like, "She's got it.
That's
She's caked up."
I have never noticed. I'll be 1,000% honest. But you know, typically when they're on TV, it's bathroom break time for me. I'm not interested. I wish I was. And I feel like this
You
match.
chauvinist. I'm just kidding.
There's just some people that just don't draw my attention, and I feel like them winning the title was like, hey, let's see how they do at the top. Let's see what they can do with some limelight on them. And especially in Scotland, we gotta give them kind of what they want, right?
Yeah.
So now we're going to Berlin, and we've had this feud that's been going on ever since then. Versus the Unholy Union will be putting their titles on the line versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill in a street fight match. I'm joking. It's
Yeah.
not a street fight. It would be great if it
wish.
was. I would love it, especially in Berlin, dude. Maybe some lederhosens involved. Anyway, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are going to dominate this match. I would not be shocked if it's a squash. They will retain their belts. I'm just putting this out there. This is my prediction, because the Unholy Union has done nothing with this reign, has not gathered. I have not seen a clip about them. There's been nothing of intrigue at all. And Jade Cargill is too much of a specimen. They put too much money into her, and Bianca Belair is too much of a star. Change my mind, Kyle. Change my mind.
I mean, I can't. And I think you're taking a play out of my playbook here by going this
I think so. I think sometimes you just got to do that,
right. And what I haven't been mad at their run. I mean, they're in matches. They're mixing
They
it
are.
up with people, and I think that they're doing. I think they're doing a great job. I would like to see them retain. Okay, that's what I would like to see. It's not going to happen because Bianca and Jade are gonna win, but I wouldn't mind, Unholy Union retaining.
All right, Devil's Advocate. We just got to start this way. Devil's Advocate. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill lose. Now we got a one-on-one feud between Jade and Bianca. Yeah. There is that possibility, right?
And I think that's what we've wanted.
I think inevitably it happens.
Yeah,
definitely.
So I think that's a good. I like that.
I'm gonna take Bianca and Jade on that one though.
I'm also gonna take Bianca and Jade, but
cool. Sounds good. Moving on, we were talking about this from SummerSlam. You had CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre spilling over into the Bash in Berlin. Do we get CM Punk winning to continue the saga or to close out the saga? Because in my opinion, Drew winning does nothing for the saga. It would close that book, and it would show that Drew is really over and CM Punk can't beat him.
Yeah.
I think CM Punk has to win this. The question is, do we get the best out of 3 after that, right? Does this Bash in Berlin, is that enough? Or are we No. So I'm gonna say CM Punk wins, but I think you're right. I think the story continues.
Yeah. And it's a strap match. So I mean it's
I did see that. That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's a strap match. So I mean they'll be tethered to each other, beating the shit out of each other. So I do think CM Punk wins.
Great strap match that literally doesn't get enough notice. The Fiend versus Daniel Bryanson. Brian Danielson. God, you never get his name right. It's crazy. It was a great match. Absolutely one of the Fiend's best matches in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be good. Those guys are gonna get they'll be welted all over after that. That's perfect for Berlin. That's like the perfect style match. Okay, we talked about spilling over. Well, we're gonna spill all over you right now.
We're overflowing the cup. We're overflowing here.
It's all over you at this point.
Right.
You have
Feels great.
It does. It feels so good. I think this is where me and you have both lit up the most with joy. Is the Judgment Day? The internal problems with the Judgment Day have been so much fun, man.
Do you want to know why? It's because it's the equivalent to like trashy TV.
It's
like this is like really trashy like reality TV that it's so bad.
It's a train wreck, yeah.
And you can't look away because it's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
You can't disagree because if you can, but you're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where it's like, it's fucking perfect.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
Here's the best part is, so Damian loses, Rhea lose, they both lose at SummerSlam. And so they both got each other's back now, right? And they had kind of always had this like head honcho kind of compete to be the guy, even though the whole point of the Judgment Day was there is no guy. And so they both have that in them, and now they've got each other's backs, and they are called the Terror Twins, which I fucking love.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so good. I mean, they don't need to be a tag team. They don't even need to be a faction. They just need to have each other's backs, and I think it's fucking great. So you got the Terror Twins and Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley in a tag team match versus the Judgment Day, Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan. And so there is no titles on the line for this.
Nope.
But this is just pure like chaos. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who do you got?
I want to say that the Terror Twins win to get some like revenge and move on. I would say that that's probably the safest bet, but I'm going to say the Judgment Day makes a statement and says that they're nobody to fuck with, and they end up pulling it off. They win. But I will
expect you to do that.
I will say this though. I think somewhere down the line, when all of this is said and done, the Judgment Day is going to have issues where it's going to be Dirty Dom who loses out on all of this. And Finn Balor is the entire time been behind Dom's back with Liv Morgan. I think it was all a ploy to get Dom away from Rhea, to weaken Rhea.
Wow.
And then Finn's gonna go and take Dom out. So yeah. And then it will set Dom on his own road to be in like the fucking, not LWO, the other one, the Phantasma.
Please don't do it to him. He doesn't deserve that.
I mean,
are you kidding me?
I listen. I feel like there's some story that hasn't been told yet with Finn, and he's already backstabbed Damian, right? Mm-hmm. And there was all of that conversation with Liv and Finn for a while there. Like, what are you doing? You know, it was always like catching him in the act, but then everybody was like, oh, it's just Finn, kind of a thing. And I think, like they're hardcore steaming. And if they've thought this out, like what we're talking about right now, bravo. I mean, it's long form storytelling. Amazing.
There you go. Hey, all right. So you have Judgment Day winning.
Yeah.
And I also think Judgment.
Explain, sir. I got to hear this. Why? I say the safe bet is probably
the numbers.
Really? You think
it's
so?
The numbers thing. Yeah. It's a numbers thing. It's going to come into play. It has to come into play because no one else is. None of them have any matches, so they're free up.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, so you'll probably see JD and Finn during this.
Is it? No. I was going to throw a weird curveball, but there's just no way. It makes no sense. Okay. Yeah. I think that's a fun one. I think that's where
that'll probably be the most entertaining match of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah. Talking about entertaining to so what we're going to next, man. I don't know if this is really playing it safe. Like really playing it safe. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship.
Yeah, it is so like
weird.
It's like, oh, Kevin deserves it. We're gonna give a match to Kevin. Yeah, Kevin.
And Kev's like, I don't want it.
I don't want it. I don't want it, Cody.
Yeah, it's
just like it's I don't know. It's just very weird and boring and just fucking lame. Give me story, bro.
Yeah, there's
no good story here. It's just Kevin's good. We're giving him a match, guys.
Well, and Cody refuses to be the bad guy, and so since you have babyface versus babyface, it's not. And neither are like, I mean, you could say Cody's over, obviously, right? Kevin's not fucking over. Kev's he's like, dude, he's been, in my opinion, he's been riding the coattails of Randy since Randy got back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's been wearing this RKO shirt everywhere he goes. It's like this little clan that they've started.
They're best friends, okay?
It's so ridiculous.
Get off it.
Yeah.
Do you know how Cody turns this reign around is when he goes heel?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he needs to do it,
but he's not doing it. And it's just because at the end of the day, he's the guy who signs all the autographs. He's there at the end of the show. He's there. So he's there supporting the organization. He may never go heel again.
You want to hear a theory I have for this.
Okay.
With Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. We all know Cody's going to win. Okay. It's not I can read your mind in this one.
Yeah.
But they've done little subtle things during this build up for this match. Like there was where Kevin Owens looked like he was about to just fucking clobber Cody with the belt. He picked it up and he was holding it like he started stepping towards Cody like he was going to hit him, and then he handed it to him, and then he started mouthing off to the dudes on the floor. I think with little things like that, because you could see, Cody, that was fucking weird. I think Cody preemptively makes a bad choice and fucks up Kevin Owens after winning and kind of pushes him over the edge a little bit.
We're playing with fire, dude. His long-term storytelling says Roman, The Rock, WrestleMania 41. You can't have Cody go heel. You just got to get there. You got to get there.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to make him heel, but it's going to be a fucking heel move.
You know what? That actually, you might be onto something, because what I'm not thinking is Roman's not a heel.
No, he's not.
Roman is God tier Babyface.
He's babyface because Solo's heel.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe we have the changing of the tide right now, and going into Mania one more time.
Homelander mode.
See, if he hits that, here's the thing: if he goes poor me on us, and it's heel, fuck, dude, I'm over it. Like I mean, shoot me now. But if he goes,
no one likes poor me heel.
Oh my god, if he goes complete like fucking Homelander, where it's just kill everything, fuck everyone. Oh my god, how good that would be.
Yeah.
It would be so good, dude. Now I want to think you're right. I really do. I really do.
It's intriguing, isn't it?
I think it's the way to go. We'll have to see. I'm just gonna go with Cody Rhodes winning this. I have no. I've lost all hope with Cody. I really have. After watching interviews with Cody and seeing this match is enough for me to recognize like his title reign fucking sucks. And the only way to save it is, you're right, by going heel. I just think he wants to be too much of a John Cena company man.
Yeah.
And I think the inevitable is that he will work for the WWE long form down the road. And I mean, he's just too vested into the business aspect of it that him going heel is just not something he wants to do. And so if he's given any creative anything, I don't think heel is the way that it goes. I really hope you're right though, because I think the one thing we haven't seen in Cody since I think Ring of Honor. I think Ring of Honor was the last time when Cody was in Ring of Honor and he had the ring. I think that was the last time he was like heel.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. But we need it on a whole nother level. We need it with plenty of drama and plenty of evil, right?
Yeah.
All while holding a smile at the same time. So
yeah,
I would
fingers
love
crossed.
And you know what? The blueprint's there. It's fucking Homelander.
Yeah.
Turn him into Homelander. He's got the look. He looks just like him. Fucking turn him into Homelander. What are we doing?
Yeah, exactly.
That would make me excited, dude. That would literally make this card so much better, right?
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yes. Okay, moving forward. You got your main event, which I'm assuming is probably not the main event. Probably Cody's the main event because it's the WWE title. But we have the main event on this list, which is Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton has a very, very positive, very good promo on Monday, talking about why he deserves to be champion, why he needs to be champion. And it was just like fact, check the box, check the box, check the box. I can't imagine that they would just let Gunther not go on a run.
Yeah.
But how crazy would it be if Randy wins because Gunther overlooks him? The same Gunther that held the Intercontinental Championship and literally held it for the longest in history, drops the title immediately to Randy. Oh my God, dude. That would be incredible. It would be great for Randy's career. I don't think anyone loses in this because Gunther will be champion again.
Yeah.
I want to say the safe bet is Gunther, and it's in Berlin too. Which makes me believe wholeheartily is Gunther. But I want to say that Triple H and Randy Orton are really good friends. And if Randy wins, he makes history, right?
Yeah.
Is it 17 times? Right?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Are you saying Randy?
Oh, I want to see. Hold on. If Randy wins Berlin, what record does he break? I'm pretty sure he breaks a record. Maybe I'm wrong. I think he become like an 18-time world champion or something like that. I'm just gonna be optimistic because I have not been really given these crazy takes. I'm gonna go Randy on this. I'd like to see him win another world title. I think, the one thing I will say is, man, dude, is it me or is his face getting really puffy? Randy's.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a little bit. Oh, he put on some weight.
Yeah. It just looks like he's about to pop, dude. And I mean, he looks swole. He looks great. But his face the other night, I was like, oh, is he about to have a stroke? Because he was so red and he was swollen. I was like, whoa, dude, it's kind of crazy. So who do you got?
Oh, I'm going Gunther. Just again, I don't think that they're gonna have him. It just
In
I don't think it
Berlin.
yeah, in Berlin, it's probably not gonna.
Yeah.
So I'm going Gunther on this.
I think that is the safe bet. If I was a betting man, that is definitely the bet I would put down. I would not put down Randy. But because it's just a little friendly conversation, I think Randy makes it interesting, and I think there's a reason to think that it's going to happen. We know with Cody's not dropping. Cody dropping would be the weirdest thing and make absolutely no sense.
No.
He is more of, in my eyes, he had more of a chance dropping it to Solo than he ever would Kevin Owens. Right. Kevin Owens just doesn't make sense. Now I will say this before we get out of here. Survivor Series is around the corner, and it looks like Jey Uso's been kind of he's not winning. He's not winning these matches. He didn't win, or did he win? Did he win his match on Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong then.
I think so.
Do you think, because I think sooner than later, is it the next one? Gosh, man, I'm all over the map here. Let me look real quick. Tickets, shows, let's see. We got Berlin, No Mercy. Whoa, No Mercies after that? Is that right? Hold on one second. Okay, so we got Berlin in this weekend, and then we have October, we got Bad Blood. That sounds like a Bloodline thing to me. And then Crown Jewel in November, and then Survivor Series. Oh, we got two in November. Crown Jewel in November, and then we also have Survivor Series. So I guess I'm off. I will say at Bad Blood, which is October 5th. We're getting closer and closer. I'm really thinking we're getting the old Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0. It's really starting to look that way, and
for sure.
Oh man, I'm so excited, dude. Jacob Fatu looks amazing. Even though he had a boot on, I was a little worried about that at SummerSlam, but he's been able to get through it. We haven't really been able to talk Bloodline too much. I will just say everything that they're doing, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
So I thought that was something we need to address, because moving forward, I think they're going to play a big storyline in some of these PLEs. Sure. And then one other thing I wanted to mention, because I have to comment on it, is since last podcast, the Wyatt family had made their wrestling, the Wyatt Six had made their wrestling debut, and Uncle Howdy, after 3 years, has made his wrestling debut. I'll say this. We were wondering about the hair. You were totally right. It's tied in. It's totally tied in. Uncle Howdy went through a transformation of having dreads to now having 4 foot long straight hair. And it's tied in as well. And I'm struggling, man, because it's weird. The Fiend was so natural. It was such a natural thing. And I feel like the Wyatt Six obviously was coming from the mind of Bray Wyatt and whatnot. Now it's the WWE pushing the narrative and Bo Dallas pushing the narrative. And I think they've done really, really well with the characters. It's been fun. It's been slow, but fun. But I'll tell you this, man, that hair, I just can't imagine it still continuing. They got to do something with it, because it looks like Kane at the end of his career, where it's just like it doesn't look good. He had a light stuck in his hair. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He had a light stuck in his hair from the announcer's table, and it's just not a good look for somebody. Bo has long hair. Let him use his hair.
I do think that he's going to get like unmasked at some point. So I don't think it's going to be a permanent.
It's really interesting though, because I do love the mask. I love the mask, and I think it's really kind of taken on a version of that character that's great. But Bo has long hair, and I just would really like to see that. I have really an issue with cosmetics. Like, that's my thing. It's just it from when he's wearing his top hat and he's all decked out in his gear, he looks great. But then when the realistic aspect of using it in the ring, it just doesn't work. So they went from dreads to straight hair. It'd be interesting if they do anything regarding that moving soon, because he has not been a part and they have not been a part of any PLEs.
No.
So I'm kind of curious to where this moves moving forward. I don't know if they've just been testing the waters or if they're really just taking it slow because it's a prized possession. But I feel like all that hype that they had at the very beginning where they destroyed everyone and whatnot, they're milking it and we're running out of milk. And they need to do something quick.
Sure.
Because it's gotten a little stale. It was a very cool part of Raw, and now I'm kind of like, okay, let's move on. So I thought it was just interesting. You know, we needed to touch on those things. You have anything you want to talk about? Okay. Well, I think with that being said, man, that's a lot of wrestling. When we get back next time, we'll talk about the conclusion of Berlin, and maybe we'll have some time to talk about some fun current events. We haven't done current events in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But yeah, man, it is a wild ride we are on. Gotta love the WWE. Netflix is coming soon. I cannot believe that. Dude, so excited. So until next time, this has been another episode of the Lower Mid Card Podcast. Have a good one.